I be really honest? On a scale of 1 to 10, right? On a scale of 1 to 10, that round of applause, just be really honest here. Just be really honest. On a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give that round of applause? Being really honest. 2 or 3. No, right now, here's the thing. I'm going to go off stage again. Right? I'm coming on stage, and I'm looking for that nutcase who gives it a 10 out of 10 out of 10. And that person is going to get a free copy of my first book, the wonderfully offensively titled Get Off Your Ass. Right? Now, here's the thing. You can be terribly British and stay exactly where you are. Or you can switch on and say, you know what, I'm going to go and give it a 10 out of 10. Let me be really honest with you people. Sorry to break it to you, but one day we're all going to die. You know that. That's the business you're in. So don't start groaning at me. Every single day you tell people you're going to die. Right? We're not going to be here. We're not going to be here. So what happens is ultimately is what we do in the time between now and then. You have an opportunity. You have an option. You have an option to give it a 10 out of 10 out of 10. Or what you can do is sit on your backside and watch as somebody else does it. If you see something, take it. Take the photograph. Like, seriously, don't take it. If you like something, take it. So here's the thing. What's stopping you being the best version of you? I want you to answer that question internally. The thing that's stopping me being the best version of me is I got locked in a coal shed when I was 7 of my dad. Right? And yet you're carrying it along. Oh, he lock me in when I was 7. I was so terrified. There were spiders and coal and everything. So what's stopping you being the best version of you? You. Because the biggest fight of your life is you versus you. Every single day you're fighting with yourself. Good version, not so good version. You know, driven version, lazy version. You program GPT, you sat there programming, oh, you did. What about you? Program yourself. So I want you to recognise this, that things can change. Anyone here ever told their employer to shove their job up their arse? Anyone ever thought about it? That's more like it, right? Well, I actually did it, and I'll tell you something. It was on the 16th of December, 2004. I told my employer to shove the job up their backside on a point of principle, and I walked. And I'm telling you something, people, it was a wonderfully liberating experience. It really was for those 3 hours whilst I drove home. I delivered pizza at weekend in 2004 to keep my business afloat. And the reason I'm saying that is not how dramatic I am, but in order for you to get to where you need to get to or you want to get to, you're going to have to do shit that you don't want to do. Right? Whether it is cold calling, whether it's that, whether it's whatever. If you don't do that, if you're not prepared to do that, then guess what? You're not going to get to the next stage because it's not about the next 5 steps, the next 10 steps. It's about the next single step. So it all went horribly wrong one day. I'm delivering pizzas. Ding dong. Door opens and standing before me was one of my clients from a marketing business. Brad, what are you doing here? What it is, Steve, is we were undertaking a direct marketing campaign for Domino's, so I thought I'd really get a feel for the organisation. You know, I even got a frigging pound tip off him. Stuff writes itself. Anyway, that business, 25 grand in debt, nobody gave me a chance. I started a network off called 4 Networking. And there you go. Generated millions, right? It'd be lovely to think that it is. There's not, right? It doesn't work like that. It's like mountaineers. You go up and down and peak, and that's how it is. So I built that business up from nothing, from absolutely nothing. And I've also written 4 books, not as thick as a look. And what you don't know about me, I mean, people say you got lucky. Oh, Brad got lucky, though, when he started and he's written all that. Let me tell you something, people. In the olden days, you had to do something called writing 40,000 words. It took 18 months to write those books. Nowadays, ChatGPT, 10 minutes later, a cup of tea, sorted. Right? And that's the world that we're in right now. But people say, oh, Brad got lucky with his business. He got lucky. Terry got lucky. Let me tell you something. Did I get lucky when my dad left at 6 months old? Did I get lucky when I left school with no qualifications? My mum and I moved 14 times from the age of 8 to 14. Did I get lucky when I got shot at in 1995? Did I get lucky when I got addicted to drugs twice? Right? Did I get lucky when, what else? Oh, yeah, 4 years on benefits. Did I get lucky when I delivered pizza on 31? So I've got 2 halves of my life. Up until 31, I was a bum. Right? And the last 21 years, I've done something with my life. What does that say? It says that we can all be a better version of ourselves. So when we started off this thing and I said about better version, you go, yeah, all right, Paul, didn't motivate me. I'm telling you, I'm a bum from Salford. You're right, Arcade? Yeah, nice one, proper. That's what I am. Right? What are you looking at, you knobhead? Eh? Right? No, but that's how I used to talk and walk. Why? Because there's a product of the environment. And I'd do that, walk around like that, what are you looking at? What are you looking at? I was speaking over in Sheffield, right, at the Crucible Theatre. And the organiser, when I walked in, said, are you all right, Brad? I went, yeah. I said, why? He said, you're walking with a limp. I'm from Salford. Proper. So the point is, right, you're a product of your environment. So I go around the Salford council estate, you've got to walk around like that, what are you looking at, right? come into this environment and say to Teddy, what are you looking at? I'll be all getting you lot jumping on me. But the point I'm making is that actually somewhere along the way, right, you're a product of the environment. If I go around Salford, Manchester, back in the old days, I had no option other than to be that guy. Now, when I got shot at and I moved away from Salford to Somerset, the worst day of my life. The worst day of my life. But it brings me here today as a result of that. The worst day of my life brings me here because of that. And it's about taking control of your decisions. Right? I'm a motivational speaker. I don't know what you're supposed to do. I'm making it up like you are. Right? You've got to take control of your decisions. You have to take control of your decisions. Every single day, we make 30,000 decisions. Every single day, 30,000 decisions. How many are you conscious of? How many are you conscious of? Pack of Jaffa cakes. Boom. 1, 2, 3, 4. You get a point. Right? Type 2 diabetes. Right? I have genuinely got type 2 diabetes. It's all fun and games until my pancreas gives in, right? All because of Jaffa cake love. Jaffa cakes that I had 20 years ago. Crazy. I told you I was fatter before. But the point I'm making in all this, people, right, is it is about decisions. So we just go into autopilot. And what happens is those minutes become hours, those hours become days, those days become weeks, those weeks become months, those months become years, and those years become a life. And you end up in a place that you didn't want to go to because you're not conscious of your decisions or it's too painful. 70%, 60, 50, 40, 30, 20 serial killers, watch them lot, right? I don't even ask 10. 10. So what happens, right, is that you end up with this thing. You end up with this situation where your battery now, all of a sudden, you now got 10%. Why you do that at 23 is beyond me, but nonetheless, right? So the point I'm making here is this. When you get a low battery on your phone, what you're doing has to stop and you have to go and do it. I want you to imagine an LED on your brain right now showing what battery power you're on. Right? I don't want any, I don't want you to tell me. I just want you to think about it. Because if you've said less than 50%, you're in trouble. That's when you start doing dumb stuff. That's when the whiskey starts coming out. That's why the lap dancing later on comes out. Okay. Right? But the point I'm making, right, is that low energy, low results. And what you need to do is you need to get on it. And it might spend more energy, and you might not like it, but pebbles in shoes don't magic the way out. Oh, I've got a pebble in my shoe. Why don't you stop? Oh, I don't want to. Okay. It's going to get more and more painful. You've all got a small spider that you're not dealing with. And you know what that is as a human being, as a business owner. That small spider is only going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. So I urge you to make a decision today to consider dealing with it. But what are the 3 things that you should be laser focused on? What are the 3 critical things of all the things that you do that you should be focused on? Because right now, this is the problem. You can't go left and right at the same time. That's why we get stuck. And you're dealing with so many things. What is it you're dealing with specifically? What is that one thing that you need to be dealing with? And ask yourself this question: does it move the needle? Does what I'm doing move the needle? Because if the answer is no, why are you doing it? I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to be really honest again, right? So are we all listening? Just so when I ask you a question, you don't all look blankly at me, right? Okay. Put your hand up if your life is perfect. Put your hand up if your life is perfect. Be really honest. Okay, not a single hand went up. Put your hand up if your business is perfect. So I travel the world, JCB, Bentley, Costa, whatever, right? I genuinely travel the world. Even I'm waiting for the police to arrest me every time I come out of these things, you know what I mean? I'm thinking, SO19, on the floor, shit, they found me out, right? Sorry, it's not 1993 outside the Hacienda anymore, is it? Flashbacks. But the point I'm making, not a single hand went up for life being perfect. Not a single hand went up for business being perfect. But if you go on Instagram right now, all you'll see is perfect lives and perfect businesses. Right? AI, by the way. Right? Make me a influencer look like a... Right? You go on social media, and we sit there like frigging lab rats watching social media. They've got bigger boobs. They've got more money. Their car's bigger. Their glass-fronted office. What do you think that's doing to you as a human being?